America has always tried to define power in visible terms: how big a building is, how many rooms it contains, how much light bounces off its walls. But place Biltmore Estate beside Mar-a-Lago and the familiar measurements stop working. What you're really seeing is a clash between two philosophies of dominance, built more than a century apart, one designed to last forever without needing permission, the other designed to matter now, at the center of attention, where decisions are made. Biltmore, completed in 1895, is power expressed as permanence. At 178,926 square feet, with 250 rooms, 35 bedrooms, 43 bathrooms, and 65 fireplaces, it was never intended to host meetings, influence elections, or entertain the public. It was constructed as a private world, a self-contained empire where the Vanderbilt name didn't need to speak because the architecture spoke for it. Every corridor, ceiling, and courtyard communicated a single idea. This wealth was beyond challenge, beyond politics, beyond time itself. There were no cameras, no speeches, no negotiations, only scale, silence, and certainty. Mar-a-Lago follows the opposite logic. Built decades later, its grandeur is theatrical, not eternal, designed to attract people rather than repel them. With its 36,000 antique Spanish tiles, dramatic interiors, and Mediterranean styling, it was created as a social magnet. But its true transformation came in the modern era, particularly after 2016, when it evolved into the so-called Winter White House. Suddenly, this private estate was no longer just a residence or club, it became a live political stage, where foreign leaders visited, power brokers gathered, and global media paid attention. Influence at Mar-a-Lago doesn't come from size, it comes from access. It's a place where proximity matters more than square footage, and where membership isn't about history, but about being close to the center of modern authority. The numbers make the contrast impossible to ignore. Biltmore welcomes more than 1.4 million visitors every year, generating roughly $200 million in annual revenue, supporting 2,400 employees, and contributing over $2 billion to the surrounding regional economy. It is no longer just a historic mansion, it is a functioning economic engine, proof that Gilded Age wealth can still exert influence long after the original owners are gone. Mar-a-Lago, meanwhile, operates on exclusion rather than scale, with a $200,000 initiation fee and $14,000 in annual dues, reinforcing that its value lies not in public impact but in who is allowed inside the room. One property converts history into measurable economic power, the other converts social access into political gravity. And this is where the comparison becomes dangerous and fascinating. If power were simply about size, Biltmore would win without debate. If power were about political relevance, Mar-a-Lago would dominate the conversation. But power in America has never been just one thing. It shifts with time. It moves from stone to influence, from inheritance to visibility, from permanence to presence. Biltmore represents a moment when wealth aimed to outlive the nation itself. Mar-a-Lago represents a moment when power thrives on attention, immediacy, and global focus. By the end of this comparison, you're not just choosing between two estates, you're choosing between two definitions of power, the kind that endures quietly for generations and the kind that reshapes history in real time. And the question that remains is unavoidable: which one truly lasts?